y'all? Tatum coming at you with an anime Deuteragonist tier list. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the last tier list I did, I was actually having fun doing it because it's cool. Just talking about other characters in the anime that I've found, that I watched, and some I might even find that's kind of new to me. So, you know, I'll just do it again, but we're gonna do it with the Deuteragonist. Mainly because Deuteragonists to me have a lot of potential, and I think some of these on here, you know, some of them might be S tier when I look at them, and some of them, you know, I might have to remember because it's been a while, and, you know, see how I rank them from there. So, let's go ahead and do this tier list. Alright, so we got Mikasa from Attack on Titan. I think Mikasa's A tier, simply because Season 4 Part 2 is coming out in January, so I don't want to, you know, put her at S just yet because I don't know how the story's going to end, or where she's going to be at the end of the story. Just because, you know, I've heard so much about the Attack on Titan season, or anime I should say, is, you know, doesn't have the greatest ending. So, I'm going to see where it goes from there. I think she's still A tier to me. I just like the role she plays with Eren, how as an Ackerman kind of plays and ties into her characters and why she does certain things when it comes to overprotectiveness of Eren. And then now she's a queen of some sort through this season 4, I believe because of her race or whatever. And pretty cool character, honestly. One of the better just Deuteragonist characters I've seen. One of the better female characters I've seen. So pretty fire, A tier. Toka was okay for me. Toka was alright. I haven't read all the Tokyo Ghoul. I've seen the anime, but I heard like season 2 is different from the anime or the manga or whatever, but I still wasn't huge on Toka like that. She had a cool moment in season 1 in the church, but not really anything I could say that was game changer for me per se. So, you know, I'm gonna put her at C. We're gonna put this dude in here because I've not seen this anime. I don't even know where he's from, to be honest. Unless it's obvious and I've seen that I don't remember. I have no idea what that is. So let me know in the comments of the ones I don't know. Kakyoin. I don't know why they put Kakyoin still a Pona ref. I'm not even gonna hold you. I have no idea why. But I mean, Kakyoin is pretty cool. A lot of his better stuff is kind of like the dream Freddy Krueger like stand that he was facing, and basically the end of the arc that was at the end of the series. So I'm gonna say he's B tier because he does have he has that cool moment, and then he's got the really vital important moment at the end of the series. And also he was a nice, like, I guess he was looked at as Jotaro's best friend, and I think you can kind of see that as it still affected him back in part 4. So I think B tier is alright for me. Archer from Fate. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Archer is probably S tier for me. From the beginning of Fate Unlimited Blade Works all the way to the end, great character. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched Fate, I would highly suggest it. It's on Netflix. You gotta watch Fate Zero first, and then watch Fate Unlimited Blade Works in order to get to his character. But really great character. When you find out his backstory and what he's basically, why he's the servant that he is, and why he kind of does certain actions towards Shiryu and certain people that want to be classified as heroes. Really cool dynamic and character. I think he's one of the best in my opinion. Do you not know who that guy is? Let me know in the comments who that is. That looks like a slice of life anime or something. Okay, now we got probably the first one that might be a little, I guess, unpopular per se. I don't know. I don't keep up with My Hero Discourse or whatever. But Bakugo to me, I'm gonna keep it really short just because we got more characters. In the beginning, I thought he was gonna be a character. I was like, okay, if the series is kind of boring for me, he gonna carry it. But as the series progresses, he's become less and less, I'm gonna just say, entertaining, important. I just don't care for him as the story is going on. Simple fact is, now I'm caught up to the manga, so like some of the stuff I'm gonna say is manga spoilers. So if you want to skip to the end a little bit past Bakugo, but he has no side plot I could really engage myself in. I get the whole becoming a better person and becoming a better hero thing, but I mean, everybody is doing that in the series, so it's kind of like the only thing that makes this different is the fact that he's got the whole superiority complex, and I mean, that is what it is. And then after that, I mean, he doesn't have any cool fights. His character development is solid. I don't know where to get this grades of all time, but solid character development. And there's literally certain arcs where he's barely even there. He just shows up at the end and just does one or two things and he's out. Like that's just how it goes. And honestly, he's B tier for me. I'm sorry, but Horikoshi gotta do something with him to make me give a fuck, because the fact that he like I said, no side plot for him whatsoever, no villain that is attached to him that makes me go, oh, I can't wait to see this matchup. I'm sorry, he's B tier. I know some of y'all like, oh, he's SAA, but sorry, B tier. Okay, now we got Yuno. Yuno is actually the complete opposite with Bakugo. You know how about what I just said about Bakugo? Yuno has the side plot, the powers, and the fights, except he has very, very small character exploration. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put him in B tier as well. Now, I do think, I don't really keep up with Black Clover in the manga that much, but I think they are currently trying to do something with him character-wise, mainly through his emotions, I think, or something like that. But not exactly the greatest. I'm gonna just say it, not exactly the greatest character in Black Clover compared to everybody else. Noi, I think it's Noi is C tier. I think she, I think I'm cool C tier. Mainly because Dorohedoro, she wasn't my favorite character like that, and plus she kind of just played her role throughout the whole series, and just some of the stuff is like I didn't hate it, but it was kind of like some of her stuff just wasn't hitting like that. I like her interactions with Kaimi. I think that's probably the best stuff with her. But other than that, I'm not exactly too invested in Noi like that. I'm like midway through Dorohedoro, so maybe if that changes, we'll see. But I mean, right now, Noi is kind of just, she's okay. Nothing crazy special for me. I don't know what that is. I think that looks like fairy tale art, if I can remember, but I do not think that's what that is. Arthur from Fire Force, very underrated in my opinion. For simple fact, he is a character that isn't the most, how should I put this? It is not the most, super in-depth, emotional type. Like, that's not what he is. Now, he could be like that later in the manga, I don't know. But that's just not what he is. And I think some people need to realize that just because your character has a bunch of backstory and trauma and emotional mind, don't make him good. Like, that just makes him a tragic character. But Arthur is a very simple character. I like the nice stuff that they got going on with him. He's a nice bounce off from Shinra, as how like Shinra's a very confident character. He can be kind of dumb at some points, but he's kind of like, well, he's well natured in terms of like fighting. Arthur, who's basically, once he gets in an imagination state, he's really strong, really cool, and also dumb as a box of rocks. But I mean, hey, he's a cool character. And plus his that thing with his mom and his dad leaving him and the whole take care of the kingdom, and then basically all they did was just leave him because they was dirt broke. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of cool for a backstory. I ain't gonna hold you. I want to see more of that. Now we got Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyans, the OG. See, now he will easily be S tier for one reason. Vegeta fans know this, DBZ fans know this. He got his ass whooped way too much for my liking. There is no way that I can call him the Prince of Saiyans, the king of all Saiyans eventually, if he don't even got really wins like that. Like, there's no moment in Dragon Ball other than him fighting fodder C tier level characters that mean absolutely nothing that made me go like, yeah, that's the prince, man, you better back down. Like none of them really ever do that. Like, I'm gonna give him A tier literally just off his character development, but other than that, I'm sorry, but Vegeta just gets hold too much. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Do not know who that character is. Alright, here's where the bias starts to come in. I'm gonna put him right there. You know what? So I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm not gonna spoil anybody, obviously, because I know it's people that haven't read the manga or a lot of manga for these. But I'm gonna just say, in terms of current new gen Deuteragonist that I've seen, let's just say Megumi has the best in the series setup out of all of them. I don't care. Maybe there might be somebody out in the series that I haven't read yet that could challenge that, but his character has progressed every arc. Hey, he be having some of the coolest moments, even if they're short, but they're to the point because they mean something later on. He has some of the best dialogue, one of the best not ideologies, but philosophies toward evil and good that has changed a little bit. I'm telling you, he's got literally 3 things set up for him by the end of the series that we all as JJK fans want to see. and we know what's gonna happen to him, and we cannot wait. I'm telling you, he's been built up perfectly, damn near, throughout the entire series. And even if he does lose, which is like, that changes later on, even if he does like get beat up here and there, he still looks cool. He still looks solid at the end because he held his ground. Like, he got whooped by Toto. He was like, oh, I'm not even trying yet. Like, that really helped solidify that Megumi is really, really strong. And even the other moments, I'm telling you, Megumi is going to be top tier by the end of the series. I think he's top tier now, but just let me know. I'm just letting you know, JJK anime onlys, Megumi is going to be something different by the end of the series. I believe this is Food Wars, so I have not watched Food Wars. I want to watch like 2 episodes. No, wasn't really engaged. I think this is Suzaku from Code Geass. See, I'm gonna put him in haven't seen for some fact is I'm currently watching Code Geass, but I'm only like 8 to 9 episodes in, so I can't really rate him just yet. So I can't. I might have to wait. I know I kind of like where his character's going, but I can't rate it just yet because I don't know if things change through Code Geass, or like, you know, maybe he does something, you know, him and Lelouch go back. Like, I don't know, so I'm gonna just put him in haven't seen. But I really can't wait to get more into it. Now we got Caesar from JoJo. I think Caesar's a really solid character. Honestly, one of those characters that's where it's like there's really nothing wrong with him. He plays his role well, does what he got to do. Had one of the most iconic moments in the series, even though it is pretty sad. Has a cool power up. I mean, not power, but a cool power that kind of bounces off nice with Joseph. He has some good ass comedy moments with him. I mean, he's just a cool character. I'm gonna put him at A. I think he's just really solid. Now we got Bruno from JoJo. Another great Deuteragonist from JoJo. He's an S tier character. One of the best stands in the series. Great setup with him near the end of the series with Trish and Giorno specifically. I love how he went from someone who was always Bruno was always looked at as like a protector of some sort from Italy, protecting that portion of Italy for being a capo. Now he was taking care of Trish when she was having her dad issues, and then he was mentoring Giorno, because look, he always felt that Bruno was mentoring Giorno for when he wasn't there, especially like, you know, around, I'm gonna just say episode 20 that I remember. It felt like he was setting Giorno up to take over at the end. So Bruno's a really cool character, really fire character. Now I got Blackstar raw as hell. Now I'm gonna put him in A regardless, because I really rock with Blackstar. Fun ass character. For a battle shonen, which is what Soul Eater is, I always looked at a character like Blackstar similar to Bakugo. If battle is a very important characteristic for you, I need to see you in battle more than the average character. That's just how I am when it comes to some of these characters and their writing. And Blackstar lives up to that to a T. I'm currently going to read the manga portion because I remember the anime, but I'm going to read the manga portion because it is different, I heard. But I still like Blackstar even at the end of the anime. I thought he was a really fire character. That fight with Mifune is dope as hell. It's a cool, fun ass character to just watch. Definitely. If Def the Kid was on here too, he'd be air ass. Like, Soul Eater just got 2 of the coolest characters in the shonen demographic. Just gotta say. Speedwagon. I'm gonna just tell you right now, Speedwagon is a C tier. I know Speedwagon memes and all that. Speedwagon was cool. Yeah, he was funny. You know, he had the whole foundation, which is later on in the series, but I wasn't huge on Speedwagon like that. I just thought he was funny. I didn't really care for his character. Well, he's a C tier. You know, I'm gonna do him justice and put him at the top of C. I think that's cool. I think that's good. I mean, that sounds about, you know, respectful. Reagan from Mob Psycho. Hey, Mob Psycho season 3 coming back. You already know. Hey, the boys are back. You know, we're gonna have Mob and Reagan again. Reagan is A tier. I really like Reagan. I mean, he's a cool mentor character for Mob, something a little different. They got some of the funniest interactions. That moment, I think it was season 1, where he thought he had Mob's power, or I think he did have Mob's power for a second. It's been a minute. And then he was beating down the main antagonist of season 1. I'm like, yo, what is going on in this series? But hey, I mean, Reagan is cool. Reagan is one of them characters where it's like, I don't know how you can just dislike him. Really cool mentor character. Zoro, I see, like, I'm not all the way done with One Piece, but fucking 400 episodes should be enough to justify and judge a character. I think he's A tier. I just think Zoro's cool as hell. Like, he's just no. This is just me and my I guess personal interest, or like not personal interest, but just bias and like the shit that I love in like fiction. If you got a cool ass character and he backs it up pretty consistently, I'm there. I'm invested. I'm invested in Zoro. I can't wait to like read more One Piece or watch more One Piece, just to find out what else he got going on in the arc that he's in. I think it's a fire, just a cool savage character. I mean, he's literally a character where it's like, I don't know how you can hate him, but I mean, there's probably some people out there, so here's what it is. Don't know who that is, sorry, and I don't know who the hell this is either. I mean, I don't know why they look a Digimon character. Okay, now we got the GOAT. Yes, the GOAT, the greatest Deuteragonist of all time, in my opinion. I know the only other person I would put ahead of him is Griffith, but Griffith turns into the antagonist, so I can't put him there. I think this should just be self-explanatory. The man got his own arcs. He's got some of the best moments in the entire series, bar none. Some of the best fights. Some of the best fights where it's ideology versus ideology. Some of the best backstory that's explored with him there because he plays a pivotal part in it. Some of the best character interactions. I mean, like, what else do you? And he's cool as hell. Like, from the beginning of Naruto Part 1 to the end of Shippuden, I felt like Sasuke was one of those characters in Naruto that was done damn near to perfection. There might have been one or two things that I'm like, I don't really see Sasuke doing that. But come on now, like, he's number one when you think of Deuteragonist, secondary to main character roles. And not to mention, he's one of the few rivals that I've seen where it feels like he wins more than the main character. I've never seen, and that doesn't automatically mean he's better, but it feels like him and Naruto were actually neck and neck, back and forth. Like, they felt like a true rivalry. Like, they didn't feel one-sided at one point. Even when Sasuke won at the end of Part 1, I wasn't like, oh, Sasuke, he way stronger than Naruto, because it was kind of like Naruto was on par with Sasuke. It was just the fact that he didn't want to kill him. And that whole thing, and then their last fight was a draw, so they both looked cool at the end, like they were both strong. Like, number one, there is no debate. I'm sorry. Genos from One Punch Man, I think I'm putting him at B. Really cool in the manga. If you haven't read the manga, check out the One Punch Man manga. Simply, if you like art, just check it out, cause oh my god, like the way he's drawn, fantastic. I think I like the stuff that he's got with Drive Knight and I think Metal Knight as well. But One Punch Man is kind of hard to judge with some characters because Genos has a lot, but he doesn't really have a good portion that's dedicated to him. He's got some cool fights here and there, but I think he's B tier. The way One Punch Man manga set up, it's kind of like you gotta wait a while to see some of these other characters really shine, and he's kind of one of them. So I think B tier is solid for him. Ryuk, like this one I don't really like because Ryuk he is quote unquote the Deuteragonist, but he doesn't really do much, I would say. He introduces the Death Note, he gives you lore on the Shinigami, and he basically just follows Light around and does some funny little laughs and stuff. So that's kind of it. I'm gonna have to put him in D tier. That's not to say he's bad, but it's like specifically for being a secondary character that's supposed to be very important. I honestly can't put him any higher. That's just how it is. Honestly, if anything, I think Maka, I think that's her name, the girl that was with Light, she felt like more the Deuteragonist later on in the series. But I'm gonna put him at D. I'm sorry, it's just not enough character. Great Pretender, Laurent. I'm gonna put Laurent at C. He was cool, and I really liked him in season 1. I feel like season 1 Laurent was really good. I like where they were going with him. But season 2 was kind of like, I didn't really care for his love interest storyline. It just wasn't for me. I'm sorry, but season 1 alone, I like him at C, just because he doesn't do anything that was like on the level of these other characters, because Great Pretender is just such a different series. I think I like him at C, so I'm cool with that. Tosaka, I think I'm easy B tier as well. I didn't like her as much as Shiryu, because Shiryu was way more interesting to me, and plus a lot of Tosaka's development and a lot of her like growth was through Phase 0. So I think I'm cool putting her at B. I think that's solid. I like the interaction, I guess, she has with Shiryu and Archer. But that's kind of it. I wasn't really huge on her like that. Sorry. I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot this girl name, but I know she's from Parasite. She's a C tier for me. I'm sorry. Another love interest character that I'm not really huge on, to be honest. I like basically the reason I like her is because of Shinichi and their relationship. I think as you know, it's like hand in hand pretty much. Like her by herself, not really much to really talk about, but you know her you know obviously relationship with Shinichi was cool. So and it was it was solid. You know that's just how some characters are. They're solid. So I mean she's a solid C tier to me. Chrome from Dr. Stone, I think another C tier in my opinion. I like Dr. Stone, you know, I'm gonna stay anime only probably for Dr. Stone. Chrome is, he alright for me. I know that he kind of is learning from Senku and all that about science and, whatnot, but, it's just, I don't know, compared to all these other characters, it's just one of those cases where he's not really on my totem pole, like who I look at as great secondary characters, so I think C tier is fine. I know this is a Beastars character, I mean, just look at it. I don't know who that is, sorry. Let's get him out the way. I see him at the end, so I'm gonna put him in there as well. And let's go ahead and get the rest of them out of here. I don't know who that is. Alright, so we are now all the way with the final 7. Alright, see what we got. We got Okuyasu from part 4. I guess we put Okuyasu, even though really it should be Koichi. Okuyasu's funny, he's a dynamic difference from Josuke. They come off as like basically the two types of delinquent characters, but Okuyasu was cool. I feel like his story really kind of ended with the brother arc. I feel like that's kind of where Okuyasu started and ended. Granted, he does have something at the end that revolves around his brother, but I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not enough for Okuyasu. He has one of the cooler stands, and I still like him like in terms of like being a funny character. But I can't put him at A or S just the simple fact that like he doesn't have one of the hugest role in the story or some of the hugest parts in the story. So I'm cool with him at B. Armin, that is a S tier for me. I don't care what Armin does by the end of part 2 of season 4, but the reason he's an S tier is for the simple fact that him when he takes over that captain role for the scouts, basically that whole cycle of how the scouts, and there's such a difference between being the head of the scouts and a scout leader. I thought that was so cool and it was so realistic, because you got Keith in that flashback. He was the head of the scout. People were like, oh, Keith isn't he's not getting things done. Our people are dying out here just on his hands, all that stuff. And they saw young Erwin who had his squad, he only has to watch over 5 or 6 people, and they say he should be the head of the scouts. Erwin becomes the head of the scouts, and Erwin finally realizes, in that situation, he's like, it's so much different from being just a squad leader in a scouts, the head of the scouts, because as the head of the scouts, you have to make a lot of sacrificial plays and a lot of things that you're not going to want to do at the end of the day because of your morality. But then when Armin gets a hold of that and he has to take over because of Erwin's situation, oh my god, really good, because then Armin brings something different, because Armin is very, very human compared to the other two, so like it affects him more. Oh man, definitely S tier. Alphonse from Full Metal, he is a B. I don't know, he's a C tier. I wasn't huge on Alphonse like that in the series. There was just way more characters I was way more invested in. Alphonse, he's cool as the brother of Edward, but that's about it for me. Full Metal Alchemist fans, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I'm just not big on Alphonse. Nezuko, this is going to be the second D tier. I read the Demon Slayer manga, and I'm gonna just keep it a bug with you. I just was not feeling Nezuko whatsoever. So Nezuko has a very interesting role in the manga, and that's basically that she doesn't have much of a role. Obviously spoilers. Obviously, there's a lot of times where she's just there, and she just randomly, once again spoilers, randomly just gets these power-ups that makes no sense. There's something that's gonna happen in season 3 that honestly just really made me just question the writing later on for this series. Like, does anything not matter anymore? Like, what the hell? But I'm gonna just say Nezuko is just I'm just not a fan of her character. There's a lot of flaws in it that just make literally no sense. But I mean, D tier. That's just how it is. I'm just not a fan. Canute is an A tier easily. I mean, I'm not even fully done with Vinland Saga, and Canute is a really cool character, from a timid to courage character. Normally those kind of guys, I'm like, seeing that, you know, it's only gonna go one or two ways with him probably, but it was executed well, as he's gonna be eventually, I guess, the king of Vinland, and I'm all for, or the king of Denmark, wherever they're at. I'm all for his character, because in the beginning I wasn't really huge on him. I didn't really care for him. I'm like, get this off the screen. But hey, later on, Canute's role and with the Askeladd build up with him, that was fire. I'm sorry, that Canute became one of those my top 5 characters in the series just because of that. That moment where he finally steps up, that hit. I'm sorry, that hit. Especially that talk with the priest and Ragnar. You have to watch. If you haven't watched it, watch Vinland Saga. I'm telling you. Rukia from Bleach, I'm gonna have to put her at B. Just not enough. Now, granted, this probably would have changed if I read the 1,000-Year Blood War arc of the manga, but I didn't. Based on the anime that I watched all of it. I think she's a cool B tier. Nothing great, I would say, for me. Nothing bad. Really solid all around. Most of her great moments come after Soul Society, and I think that backstory fight that she had with the one guy in the wrong car was okay. Felt like it went on a little too long, but I like the character that she kind of displayed in that fight, so I'm cool with that. Alright, now for last but not least, we got Killua. This is another great way to end the list. We got him at the S tier. Top 3 Deuteragonist, and that's just how it's gonna be, because Killua, similar to Sasuke, a lot of great moments as an individual character. We all know that heart bag scene that he did with dude in the beginning. The Zoldyck lore that he has with him to be a part of the Zoldyck family was amazing. The Nen training that he did compared to Gon was really good. I mean, Killua was one of those characters where like he's damn near perfect. Once again, I gotta say, like, there's just nothing really much wrong with him. He's one of the cooler characters I've ever seen. And Hunter x Hunter is a great series, and I think Killua was actually one of the, like, when I think of Hunter x Hunter, to me personally, I think of Killua. Killua embodies that whole series more than anyone, in my opinion, and just the fact that he killed it in the Chimera Ant arc. The New York knew I loved the role, and he and Gon played kind of as spectators and bystanders. I just thought they looked cool in that. And oh my god, like, what, just a cool character, man. And I think he's a good guy to end the tier list off on. And that's the tier list. That's how we looking right now. So let me know in the comment section. Give me your top 3 or your top 5 Deuteragonist characters in anime or manga. Just let me know in the comments. And with that, I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.